What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Rec Room. I'm your boy Tony the Brick Whisperer, and we are going to knock out some more builds for Mrs. Brick Whisperer. It's, getting to be that time. Uh, she wants her botanical sets. I'm almost done with them all. Thank goodness. I'm getting there because the repetitiveness is killing me. But before we get into how repetitive botanicals are, let's dive right into our disclaimers. Lego's giving me nothing. Bricks and Minifigs Avondale's giving me nothing. I have no sponsors. You might see me drinking from a McDonald's cup. McDonald's, not a sponsor. I have no sponsors aside from Mrs. Brick Whisperer. All of this comes from our collection. So, what are we going to build first? Well, if you saw the title of the episode, More Plants for Mrs. Brick Whisperer, that's exactly what we're doing. Is we're building more and more plants. Except the last build. The last build was kind of a last minute, hey, let's do this. But we'll get into that when we get there. So first, what we're going to dive into is, boom, set number 10349, the Happy Plants. This set originally released on the 1st of June of 2025 with a recommended retail price of only $23. And it still has not been announced as to when it is going to retire. So this was a pretty fun little set. Let's face it, Mrs. Brick Whisperer, she loves those little cutesy sets. I have no problem with that. The fact that she knows what all this Lego building does for me, all the joy that it brings me, and now she is finding stuff that she is enjoying, albeit stuff that she is not building. I think it's awesome. And so she saw the Happy Plants and she thought that they were just the cutest little plants that she could get. So let's dive right in and get this one built, shall we? So here we go. And we're off. Okay. So oddly enough, you see everything already sorted and ready to go and organized. The reason being was I had originally had this set built, and then sure enough, I ran into technical issues. So I then took everything back apart. So right there, you see where I placed the body of this yellow Happy Plant. Do you see the mechanisms there? Right next to them. Those we will get into later as we get to the end of our video today. So I thought that they did a fantastic job with this set because down at the bottom of the plants, you see me just put in that little almost root looking element. Let me tell you, Lego, excellent touch. That was awesome. So let's continue getting this knocked out. Get the little blue Happy Plant done. So all in all, this build took me only 11 and a half minutes. It's funny how it doesn't seem to be lasting 11 and a half minutes. God, I love technology and speeding up the time lapse. So let's get these guys built. We're on to the last bag. I also thought it was cool how they made one of the little Happy Plants stand and the other one seated. Alright, let's get the last few of these leaves and stems planted. No pun intended. I see what you did there. And boom, there we have them. Cutesy little guys, ain't they? In fact, I have my theory as to why they were made the way that they were, and I think my modification that we will be viewing later kind of goes along with the little story, if you will. So that is going to be fun. So a fun, quick, little easy build. And let me tell you, when Mrs. Brick Whisperer saw these, and I will display these at the this display, at least show you the modification towards the end of this video. When she saw this, oh yeah, she did her whole little sneezing, it's cute deal. So I know she loves it, and again, I'll explain the whole little story behind it. Hang on one second. Are you quite are you quite finished? So as you can see, both Lobo and Maya decided to try and get in on the video right there. I think it was because they heard Mrs. Brick Whisperer along with the girls come home, and they are very, very excited. Now, I don't know how sensitive this microphone is, but we do have a storm brewing, and let me tell you, the thunder has just been rolling like none other. So if you hear distant rumblings in the audio, it's because there's a storm overhead, but that's okay. So, what do you say we dive into the next very repetitive botanical set? I am speaking of, boom, set number 10280, the Flower Bouquet. So, I am not mistaken, this was within the first 5 of botanical sets I had bought from Mrs. Brick Whisperer. This set was originally released on the 1st of January of 2021. And this is one of those rare sets that was able to survive being retired after their 2 years. Because, you know, here we are well into 2025, and it's still to be announced when this set is going to retire. And this set was originally released with the recommended retail price of $60. So, another one of those botanical sets where you needed your own vase. So, I had already shown this in previous botanical sets where Mrs. Brick Whisperer had bought a number of vases for it and decided to put those purple and black little gem glass plastic. I don't know what they are, okay, to be honest. I just know that one, she bought 2 colors, black and purple, our 2 favorite colors. So, what do you say we dive right into the build? Here we go. All right, and away we go. So this particular flower set took me about 50 minutes to build, and I am going to try and state what each flower is as I am building them. I'm trying to get my instructions up because thankfully at the end of the book were the flower types. So the very first ones I just put in the vase right there, those are the common daisies. Followed by, here I am building the 3 roses. So one of the things I guess you could say that I like about how repetitive the botanicals are is, in my opinion, I'm able to attack a step numerous times and just move. And I think I've said this in previous videos, I am not sure, but there have been times where, you know, something is repetitive and I won't catch it until I'm at the very end. And it's like, oh, I've got to do this 4 more times? Ugh, go back. You know, at least with the botanicals, I know what to expect. So yeah, here we go, knocking out the stems of the roses. You see the roses just hanging out right there. See, and I mean, just look at this desk. You can understand why I call this the rec room. Did think that it was kind of interesting for them to use pterodactyl arms, or wings, however you wish to call it, for leaves for these roses. So this bright orange flower, this is the California poppy. I like the fact that there's only one. Next, we have I'm not seeing what this is. Let's just call it grass. Then on to the snapdragon. There's 2 of these. Now I know Kaylee likes these because, well, you guessed it, they're pink. And anybody that knows Kaylee knows how much she loves pink. And oh my goodness, listen to that thunder. All right. So here we are getting to the bottom, using those I guess you could call them flower bell elements. I mean, let's face it, they look like little bells. All right, get the stems knocked out and on to the next. So this would be lavender. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but it sounds like Mrs. Brick Whisperer just opened the back windows or the back door, and all I hear is rain. So it's coming down now. So here you go. Fun fact for anybody who lives in the desert in Arizona: lavender is a natural way of repelling scorpions. So if you want to keep scorpions out of your yard, lavender is the way to go. Coming down pretty good, babe? Babe? Coming down pretty good? Yes.
Well, the wind coming at you, kind of from underneath, is very cold. And the clouds are turning kind of green, so I'm just trying to get everything in.
Ah.
It looks very ominous out there.
So in case you couldn't tell, that was Mrs. Brick Whisperer talking about this storm that's just moved in. All right, and on to our last flower here, the aster. This one was cool because it really looks like a bright purple flower with a lot of detail to it, and I know Mrs. Brick Whisperer loves this particular flower. All right, and so there we have the whole bouquet in the vase that Mrs. Brick Whisperer bought. So another botanical down. Who knows how many to go? So yet another botanical out of the backlog of stuff that needs to be built. And Mrs. Brick Whisperer is starting to have flower sets everywhere. I know that there are at least 3 more that I see down here that need to get done. But that is not counting this one. Boom! Set number 10314, the dried flower centerpiece. So this set originally was released on the 1st of February of 2023 and retired on the 31st of December of 2024 with a recommended retail price of only $50. So this set was comical because when this set came out, Mrs. Brick Whisperer only saw it by images that she saw online. And she saw the box of it, and at first she was like, okay, that's nice, but I really don't. And then it turned into a very emphatic, no, I do not want it. Then one day she came by Bricks and Minifigs Avondale while I was working, and there was one sitting there. And she's like, okay, I've changed my mind. So there have been 2 sets from the botanical collection that she wanted nothing to do with, as she has changed her mind. I need to take a look because now I am pretty sure in the here and now she has all of the botanical sets that Lego has released, which is kind of crazy because I've been doing this for 26 years. My goal has always been get all the Star Wars sets that Lego releases. She's only been going after the cutesies and the botanicals for a couple of years. She already has all the botanicals. I'm not there yet with the Star Wars. How is it that she beat me? That's right, because botanicals have not been coming out for 26 years. All right, that's a good reason. There's not as nearly botanicals as there are Star Wars sets. That's another good reason. So, what do you say we dive in and knock out the dried flower centerpiece? Here we go. All right, and we're off. So one of the things I kind of liked about this particular set was one, you could hang it kind of like that flower trellis set that I had put together a number of videos ago. You can also hang this one. And there's also, at the end of the instructions for this, there is essentially instructions on how to take it from it being in one particular configuration, and you can kind of break it in half and have it almost have it in two pieces, kind of like a corner piece as opposed to a centerpiece. So this one was different. So I have, in the past, for Bricks and Minifigs Avondale, I have certified this set a number of times. But this is my first time actually building this particular set. Now, for my first time building this, where it has a piece count of 812 pieces, this took me about an hour and 15 minutes. All in all, not bad. Now, as you can see me right now wearing one shirt. Let's just say this past week has been a little chaotic because, pardon me. Let me see, if I'm not mistaken, I put all this together this past Monday, and then Mrs. Brick Whisperer wanted to go out to eat, which I have no problem taking her out to eat, especially when it's one of her favorite restaurants. So I take her out to eat with the full intention of coming back and finishing the build. Right offhand, I don't remember why I didn't. Oh well, that is neither here nor there. So you will see that the camera angle is kind of going to change here in a few, as well as my shirt. Well, maybe not right there, but we'll get there. Alright, so this particular set has a number of different flowers in it, but I did not see anything in particular. Now, Mrs. Brick Whisperer loves to decorate for the holidays, and not even necessarily holidays. Sometimes she likes to decorate for the seasons. So, our first day of fall was not too long ago. The house is already decorated in autumn colors and whatnot. And for a while, I had said that one of these days, one of these sets is going to make it out into, whether it's the dining room, living room, kitchen, whatever. And pretty much since we moved into this house, she has made it abundantly clear that is not going to happen. Well, I came home from work last night to find this particular set in our dining room on a little hutch right underneath our back window. So I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was just a matter of time. All right, so there it is. You see me in a new shirt. That's because now I think we're on this past Wednesday. Get to building. My plan was to get this done this past Wednesday, get through what we're doing right now, which is the commentary, and hopefully get everything put up Wednesday night. Yet that didn't happen either. One, had some technical issues. Thankfully, I had already gotten everything built and all the video was working. I just had a problem getting all the video together. But that's okay. And then Mrs. Brick Whisperer wanted to go out, which turned into us being out for quite a while. And then I had to rearrange my garage. It was a long night. And I have already said, today I am doing nothing. I'm going to sit here with all of you and get this video knocked out, because while I am more or less completely recovered, I know recovery takes a full year. but I can walk normally. Uh, I'm almost completely healed from my last knee surgery last month. I would very much like to get another video after this one done before my next knee surgery. And on top of that, that means I've got to do some cleaning and rearranging in the rec room. All right, so we're going to continue getting this knocked out. So as you can see, I'm well into the second half of this build. Now this is what I was talking about because it can be attached as one solid piece, or it could be broken in half for that 90-degree look. But we chose to keep it simple and keep it as the one piece. And again, here you see that repetitiveness. You see it on both halves there. They look very similar to each other. And you can see me using the instructions on the Lego Builder app there. So to anybody watching this and you collect Lego, if you are unaware of this app, I strongly encourage it. And no, Lego is not paying me anything to say this. This is my own personal opinion. I love this app. This is great for many sets that have been released within the last 20, 25, close to 30 years. Free app, number one. Number two, all the instructions are free. All you need really is the name of the set or the set number, and you could pretty much find it. Now, I do know that there are some instructions that are missing from this, especially some of, if I am not mistaken, the vast majority of polybags, just about every Comic-Con set you're not going to find. But so long as you have a Lego.com account, this set or this app is truly amazing, because if you have that Lego.com account, along with this app, you can keep track of your entire collection, which I think is absolutely cool. All right, and then on top of that, this app, in this particular mode where I'm using the instructions, it gives you a 3D view of everything if you choose to manipulate the image. And there it is. Wow, that is extremely grainy. I have no idea why it looks like that. I really wish I knew why. All I can say is, I'm sorry, guys, but believe me when I say this set looks a whole lot cooler and a lot more crisper than this is showing. Yeah, don't ask me why that turntable video of the completed build looked as awful as it did. I have no idea. So for that, I am very, very sorry. But oddly enough, Mrs. Brick Whisperer likes it. Like I said, it is now the first set that is out in the general area. Got the over in the dining room, just sitting there. Looks great, let me tell you. So I know in the last video I said I know my videos are getting longer. Excuse me. And I was talking about how I wanted to reduce them. So the original intent was just those three: the heavy plants, flower bouquet, dried flower centerpiece. That was all I was intending on doing. Now, because Mrs. Brick Whisperer is already decorated for autumn, and Thanksgiving is around the corner, I understand Halloween is our next holiday that's coming up. The only holiday stuff, as you saw sitting there on my desk during the build videos, was the jack-o'-lantern. In fact, I have it right here. And I did a video of it last year, and yes, it does light up. I did a video of it last year. There's no need to do it again. I don't have any other Halloween sets, and that's perfectly fine. In fact, I don't think there's any other Halloween sets that I or myself or Mrs. Brick Whisper particularly jumped at. Like there's no sets that screamed at us. So, but because of the whole autumn deal, I know how many Christmas sets I have. So here soon, I'm going to start running through them because we're going to start our little Christmas village. It's not anywhere where I want it to be yet, but it's getting there. Slowly, very slowly, but that's okay. So I wanted to knock out one last set for Mrs. Brick Whisperer, one that I know she's going to love. Why? Because she loves her little brickheads. So we're going to knock out a real quick brickhead of, boom, set number 40273, the Thanksgiving Turkey. This set was a very, very short-lived set, releasing on the 1st of October of 2018, and then retiring at the end of 2018 with a recommended retail price of only $10. So this is another one of those cutesy, it's cute type things. And she loved the fact that this particular turkey had that whole fan for a tail. She thought it was adorable. Okay, you like it? Let's watch it get built. Here we go. All right, and we're off. Small set. Why not be zoomed in just a little bit? And when I say small set, it's only 114 pieces. Took me 6 minutes to build it. Did not take very long at all. Now, if I am not mistaken, and I'm trying to rack my brain here, I want to say that this completes all of Mrs. Brick Whisperer's brickheads. I don't believe she has any more. Until she sees another one that she really likes, in which case we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Well, no, I take that back. The only other brickheads that she has remaining, I want to say she has one or two for Easter, and we will take care of those hopefully this upcoming Easter because I completely forgot this previous Easter. And there the little guy is. And what was crazy was I tried numerous different lighting techniques. That slope for a beak, no matter what I did, that slope just reflects. I have no control over that. And so, like I said, 4 builds, quickly knocked out. We're just about there. Now, I had made a comment earlier about doing a modification for the happy plants. And this is where we're going to dive right into that. So I saw, you know what, let's just watch the video. How about that? Here we go. All right, and so now we begin the mod or the modification for this little yellow guy. We're going to add a little movement to him. And in order to do this, I already have a number of things ready to go. Whoops. Stay upright. It's probably a wise idea to have a couple bright light yellow 1x2 plates. I don't, so I had to settle for 4 1x1 plates. I have what will ultimately be the back mechanism with the gear and crank right here. I am separating them for a reason because there's a 2x2 plate that I got to attach. This right here will be for the arms, and this right here will be for the plant. So in order to get this done, first we need to remove the plant. Now, one thing that I liked about this particular set when it came to the plants was their attention to detail. They added roots. I thought that was very clever. I thought that was very cool. But in order to pull this off, we're going to have to pull the roots out. Not to mention, we're going to have to pull the greenery off completely. Now we can leave all this together because is what we're going to end up set those off to the side. In fact, you know what? While we're here, we already have the dirt. Again, a generally good rule of thumb, these little modified 1x1 bricks with a stud on the side. Many of you guys call them snots. Stud not on top. Me personally, I'm not a fan of that. But anyway, it's typically a wise idea to go ahead and get these in reddish brown. I don't have them, so I had to make do. But, so here we are. You can see the whole mechanism here. And we are going to go ahead and throw the greenery on it. So now when it turns, voila. Alright, so let's make sure that's all on there good and tight. Perfect. So, we got the plant. What we're going to want to do is remove the front, the back, pretty much all the arms so that you're left with this. Now, we have these 1x4 modified bricks right here with the studs on the side. One of those we're going to want to remove because we need to be able to get the gear to fit in the back. So this is where those 1x2 plates or those 4 1x1 plates will come in handy. And we want to attach them right on top of the bright light yellow. So it's right there. We have to remove the arms, as well as these pins. Whoops. Now a lot of these parts we are not going to be reusing, so we want these Technic bricks here. We're going to throw one there. Now when you put the arms on, make sure that they alternate. This way you get a good fun little move. This way you get fun movement out of it. And we're going to put those right on there. So now you see that the arms will move in opposite directions. Alright, so now we need pretty much the rest of the build. Like I said, we're going to need that 1x2. The face can go on, but we're going to leave the face off for now so that I can show you how or I can just throw the face around. So we're going to leave the face off for now so I can show you the internal workings. Now the back of it, however, the back one we pretty much have to completely disassemble. So let's get started doing that. So we disassemble the back. And so here's the back. So what we're going to want to do, throw the corners on. Start building up the sides. Like I said, we got the 2x2 plate. We attach that. Now we can put the gear back in along with the shaft, with the crank and the crankshaft. So this way you get a good turn. Alright, we go there, we go there. The tiles here, if you want to throw in 2 1x2 bright light yellow tiles right here, that's up to you. At the moment I don't have any, so I'm not overly concerned. So it should look like this, and we are going to attach this to the back. So without the top of it being put on just yet, you can see right here the internal workings. As it starts, you turn this crank, which turns the gear, and it turns that gear. We have the plant. We're going to slide that right in there. And now we can see the entire inner workings. So the whole thing turns. Now, it turns so much easier when it's completely put together. As you can see, sometimes the teeth of the gears will jump. But when the front is put on, it holds pretty well together. And then you can just turn it. I'm half debating whether or not I want to get a motor to motorize this. And one of the reasons why I thought about doing this, one, I saw it on Facebook. I saw somebody else had done it, so I'm recreating it. Two, I kind of look at these. A lot of sets, they almost have a story to tell. And so when you see these two guys just chilling right here,
You got the blue one who looks, well, he's blue. He's kind of sad. You can kind of see it in his smile. He kind of doesn't want to be happy. But this guy really wants to cheer him up. So how does he do that? By just acting goofy. And so there's the modification.
So I hope that modification, the explanation of it, does it justice. But as you can see, when it's completely put together, it works so well. And Mrs. Brick Whisperer saw it, and she loves it. In fact, right after I had finished building everything, and I got all my videos taken, she took the flower bouquet, the dried flower centerpiece, the turkey brickhead, all over to her office and disperse it where it want. But I said, this one needs to stick around. This way I could do a awesome little demonstration. So she'll be getting that here momentarily. So I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching. I've got a number of things I want to try and get done today on my day off, to include relaxing. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Share this with your family. Share this with anybody you know that loves Lego. And with all of that being said, I'm going to go and enjoy the nice weather that's kind of rumbling up in the sky, but that's fine. So with all that being said, I want to hear everybody loud and proud when we say, we'll see you when we see you. Y'all have a great day.